Hey guys, summer is just around the corner, so today I'm going to show you one of my favorite ways to cool down when the weather gets warm. We're actually going to be making some iced tea, and in true domestic geek fashion, we're going to be making it 5 delicious ways. Just before we get to that, I did want to let you know that I am finally on Snapchat. So if you're on Snapchat, be sure to follow me at The Domestic Geek. I'll be sharing lots of behind the scenes photos and videos, and of course, lots of tips and tricks there, and I'm really excited. It took me a few weeks to get the hang of it, so I was secretly snapping for a little while, but I think I've got it. So follow me at The Domestic Geek, and otherwise, it's time to get started with some awesome iced tea ideas. We're kicking things off today with a really yummy orange and rosemary iced tea. And if you've never tried the combination of orange and rosemary, you are in for a treat. It's super, super refreshing. Of course, as with any great iced tea, this one starts with some tea. And we make tea by combining some boiling water and some tea bags. Now, for this process, I'm actually transferring my boiling water to a heat-proof dish. Emphasis here on heat-proof. It's really important you do not pour boiling water into non-heat-proof glass because obviously it could shatter and cause a really bad accident. And that's not what we want because it's iced tea day and that's a day we're celebrating. So we're pouring our water into a heat-proof dish, and to that we're going to add some tea bags. In this case, I'm using just traditional orange pekoe tea, but go ahead and use any kind of tea you like. Once our tea is steeping away, we are going to add even more flavor with a few sprigs of fresh rosemary and the zest of 1 orange. Now, if you prefer your iced tea unsweetened, you can go ahead and skip this next step. But I really enjoy a sweet tea, so I'm gonna go ahead and add some honey to this and stir everything around until that honey is totally dissolved. Then I'm going to let all of this deliciousness steep away for between 3 and 5 minutes, depending on how dark you like your tea. And then I'm simply going to strain it and let it cool completely. Once my tea has cooled completely, I'm going to pour it in a pitcher over some orange slices, and then into the fridge it goes to chill for at least an hour. When it's ready to serve, I'm simply going to pour it over some ice and then garnish it with another sprig of fresh rosemary. Next up, I've got a really yummy Blackberry Mint iced tea. So once again, I'm going to get started with some hot water, and to that, I'm adding some green tea bags. You could do this with black tea bags if you wanted to, but I just love the idea of incorporating green tea and all of its awesome antioxidant power into this yummy summer drink. To that, I'm also going to add some fresh mint leaves. I'm just going to tear them apart to help them release some of their yummy flavor. And I am also going to add a little bit of sugar. I'm going to stir this all together until the sugar is completely dissolved, and then I'm going to let it steep for about 5 minutes. Just keep in mind, you never want to over steep any of these teas because they will become a little bit bitter, and that is not delicious. Once my tea is totally steeped, I'm going to strain it, allow it to cool completely, and then I'm going to pour it into a pitcher over some beautiful fresh blackberries. I'm going to put that pitcher in the refrigerator for at least an hour to let all of those yummy flavors come together, and then it is ready to enjoy. Next up on today's iced tea adventure, I've got an idea that is a little unexpected, but will definitely appeal to you guys out there who love a little bit of spice. It's my strawberry jalapeno iced tea, and I promise you, don't knock it until you've tried it. Once again, I'm getting started with some boiling water in a heat-proof dish, and to that, I'm going to add some tea bags. In this case, I'm using some Rooibos tea, which is one of my very favorites. It's just got such a beautiful color. It is loaded with antioxidants. Next, I'm going to add about half a jalapeno that I've just sliced up. This is going to transfer some nice heat to this tea, which is really going to complement those lovely sweet strawberries we're going to be adding in at the end. I'm going to add a little more sweetness with some sugar to this recipe. You could also do this with some honey or some agave, or if you prefer your iced tea unsweetened, you can go ahead and leave it out. I'm going to stir it all together until the sugar is dissolved, and then I'm going to let it steep for 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, I'm going to strain it, let it cool, and then transfer it into a pitcher with a heaping helping of beautiful strawberries. Into the fridge this goes, and it's going to chill for at least an hour or until all of those yummy flavors are incorporated. Then it is ready to serve over some ice with some jalapeno garnish. I guess we could call this spice tea. Get it? Spice tea, iced tea. Is it landing at all? No, everyone's laughing. My next iced tea celebrates two of the best flavors of summer, peach and basil. Once again, I've got some boiling water standing by, and to that I'm going to add my tea bags. In this case, I'm using white tea to switch things up a little bit. To that, I'm going to add some beautiful fresh basil leaves. And what I'm going to do is just tear them up to help release even more of their incredibly fresh flavor. I'm going to sweeten this up with a good squeeze of honey. I'm going to stir this all together until the honey is dissolved, and then I'm going to steep it, strain it, and let it cool. Once it's completely cool, I'm going to pour it into my pitcher over some beautiful sliced peaches. I'm going to give it a good stir, and then into the fridge it goes to chill out until that peach and the basil have come together in holy iced tea matrimony. Last but not least, I've got an incredible flavor pairing for you today that is loaded with antioxidants and also totally caffeine-free. It's my Pomegranate Hibiscus iced tea. For this, we are using hibiscus tea, which has a really nice floral flavor to it, and it's beautifully complemented by the tartness of pomegranate juice. So we're getting started once again with our boiling water in our pitcher. To that, we're going to add our hibiscus tea bags, and we're going to sweeten this yumminess up with some honey. I'm going to stir it until the honey's dissolved, let it steep, strain it out, and then let it cool completely before mixing it with my beautiful pomegranate juice. Then I'm going to serve it over ice with some beautiful fresh pomegranate, which is basically like nature's candy. I really hope you guys will give some of these awesome iced tea ideas a try, and if you do, don't forget to tweet or Instagram me a photo because you know I love seeing your creations. Remember that all of these yummy recipes are available in the description box below, so you can take a look there. And don't forget to follow me on Snapchat because I'm finally there after all this time at The Domestic Geek. And don't forget to subscribe because of course there is lots more deliciousness where this came from.